we go. Nico.
What's up, man?
Nico Manshack. Yeah, get it a little closer.
How's that?
Yeah, man. So I guess we met through Alex.
Maybe? Actually, I think the first time I met, I set a water slide up for you. It was like...
Yeah, but I think it was through Alex.
Was it?
I think that...
Yeah, it may have been Alex.
I think that we had gotten a water slide at one of our company things, and Alex was like, hey, my boy does inflatables, and then that's how I met you. And
well, I appreciate the plug from Alex. Big
yeah,
time.
dude. Yeah. I see you several times a year.
That's right.
For my kids.
Yeah. It's great. I'm watching them grow up. It's wild.
So Anna, she is the past 3 years, she gets a water slide for her birthday. It's in August.
Okay.
And but she's getting older and bigger, and I'm like, well, hey, look, they have this bigger one. And she's like, no, Dad, it's tradition. She goes, no, Dad, it's tradition.
Get the other one.
And look, when I show up to get this thing, they're still on it. Like I think Leighton just lets them roll.
I'm like, hey Nico, look, it's Saturday. If you want to take a Sunday off, you can just come on Monday.
Yeah. He said that because I've literally shown up before they were on it, and I was like, I'm out. They got to keep playing. I'm not going to be that guy.
They're not going to.
And I love it. That's the best thing in the world. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Well, Nico, man, tell me your story. Like, get us into it. Where do we?
Oh man, that's so the business he's talking about is Geaux Southern Rentals. I started that. We just finished our 11th season, actually, or 10th season rather. So we're kind of coming up into the end of that, with season ending now. But when my daughter turned 1, I saw that there was definitely an opportunity there. I actually rented a water slide.
Yeah. They
showed up, set up, kind of did their thing. And I was like, everybody I know is about to be having kids. Like, I've got a kid, this would be a cool thing. So I was doing oil and gas work, and I knew that there was, like I said, an opportunity there. So I took the first bonus that I had working for that company, bought some water slides, and then literally just never quit. So it's been a cool thing. It's been a weekend thing forever. And that's a blessing and a curse, good business needs to be scaled for sure. But that being said, I've always worked full time aside from that. So to be in a position where I could take that on full time, I've just never really been there. And truthfully, don't even know if I really wanted to. I think that kind of like Leighton, you can have multiple full-time things. So that's kind of my next step.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So that's the rental business.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But that's not all.
How many slides do you have?
So we have 22. I keep about 15 to 16 of those things going out. I want to be able to manage most of that myself. And again, that's a blessing and a curse.
Well, I remember the first, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you were like, hey, you had just hired somebody. Like, I think was that your first time to hire anybody?
Yeah.
You had kind of done all yourself till a couple years ago?
Exactly. Yeah. So 2020, 2021, I started going, all right, I'm getting a little older now, and it'd be good, obviously, to put some guys in place. And we were definitely at a position to do so. And I did that. So I brought on some guys from, other companies and things like that have worked for me. And it's been good. It's very lucrative for them, obviously, and it helps my back a lot too. So, but to answer your question, I've done that stuff by myself forever, and it's been awesome.
It's family business. Sometimes you showing up with your family,
right?
Like literally, your wife's there with you.
That's right.
I think the last party we had, I guess it was last August. Your guys were late because of 50 Cent. So we got to get 50 Cent on here to talk about this.
We should do that. I think 50 Cent owes me some time now. Yeah, for sure. But just funny enough, they actually I was reading an article this morning. That next year that's coming back.
But they had rented some stuff from you, huh?
Well, so 50 Cent's group, there's a massive production behind everything that he does. So they found me, reached out to me. They didn't actually rent anything from me. He bought. And this is a kind of a crazy story in itself too, but he bought just truckloads of this stuff, right? But they didn't really know what they had. So they called me and they're like, hey, 50, we're doing the Humor and Harmony Festival. We're going to put this, and this together. Oh, and we're going to do these inflatables, but we don't really know anything about this. So I was like, cool, I'll absolutely come and see what you guys got. And they were like, well, that's kind of the problem too. It's in Houston. So I was like, well, I can't go to Houston. They're like, it's cool. We're getting them on 18-wheelers. We're shipping all this stuff to Shreveport. It's going to be here in a few days. mind you, I work full time, like all the time, you know, work for myself on top of that too. So I was like, but I'm a yes man. So I was like, sure.
Well, look,
I'll
it's
check
50
this
Cent
stuff
too. I
out.
mean, you can't tell 50 no.
Looks good on the resume.
You can't tell him no.
When he calls,
Yes.
right.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, it wasn't 50 Cent himself, but it was somebody that probably speaks a little better for the business and all of that too. Not to say that he doesn't know exactly what he's talking about, but nobody did in this sense. These trucks come and these things were huge. We typically work with units that are about 500 or 600 pounds at most. Sometimes you get into stuff that's 700 or 800 pounds, but there'll be multiple pieces, you know, a little easier to work with. I think the lightest one that they had within that order was like 1,400 pounds. I mean, there were slides and stuff that were coming that were 3,000 and 4,000 pounds. All this stuff is palletized, you know, in a truck. And they basically kind of stuck me out there with a tiny forklift. And they were like, just, you know, we got to get this stuff out, make sure everything's here, this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh, what am I getting myself into? But it was really, really cool. Huge learning experience. I did that in the midst of a royalty season for the Krewe Centaur, which was crazy enough, you know, just time wise, there just wasn't a lot of time to be doing all this stuff. But I survived it and my wife did not divorce me. So, you know, it's a win and a win and a win. But it was a cool thing. And I'm glad that Humor and Harmony is coming back. It'll be cool that it'll be in March in 2026. So it won't be so hot. But I haven't heard anything on the inflatable side of
When
it.
is it? Did they say a date?
Just in the month of March.
Oh, in March. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Shay's working on their roof. The studio's roof. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
dude, come on, man.
place.
Come on. We got to get Fiddy on the podcast.
I know it.
We do. Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah.
That's right.
So,
But you think he'll call you again this year?
I hope so. I mean, you know, there's, like I said, it's such a big production. There's Temple Williams. I don't know if you guys know Temple. Temple's right around the corner from here, actually, but he was kind of the brains behind a lot of that stuff. So I got an opportunity to work with him and help out, and he plugged me in where I needed to be. So
who's Temple? What does he do?
So Temple, you should probably just Google that guy right now. He's
Let's have
done a
him.
lot.
Bring him on. Bring him on the pod.
We should definitely do that. Yeah, I could
Really?
reach out to him and tell him you guys are interested in
cool.
that. Temple's
Let's do
great.
it.
He's
Okay.
really great. And he's in Shreveport too. So
Let's do that.
He's, you may have seen Temple's car, actually. He's got a Porsche, right? And it's got a wild like tent set up on top of this thing. If you haven't seen it, you could easily hear it. But yeah, it's awesome. Pretty
All
sweet
right.
setup. But yeah, he's at the studios a lot. He's down there. I see his car, you know, through downtown Shreveport a good bit. So
Cool.
Yeah, he'd be
All
a
right.
great guest for you guys.
Nice.
Thanks for the info.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're, and me and Nico, we've met for lunch several times over the years. And I've always appreciated your work ethic.
Yeah, I appreciate
and you
that,
are
man.
like just kind of you're in it, you know, and you've whatever you're in, you're 100% in.
Yes, sir.
And so Window Gang, tell us about it's Window Gang.
It's Window Gang,
Tell us
yeah.
about Window Gang.
So Window Gang is great. Again, that's my day to day. I've been with Window Gang for about 8 years now. We do residential, commercial. Window cleaning is obviously our bread and butter there, but we do a lot of soft washing, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, chimney sweeps, dryer vents,
Roofs.
you name
That's a
it.
soft
Roofs.
wash.
Yeah,
roofs,
we do it. We are, and we're actually soft washing a lot more roofs these days. So,
And I've done that. You've actually done that for some houses
Yeah.
I've had.
Yes,
and
sir.
dude,
Yeah.
the roofs look brand new.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Because like you see, you know, especially trees are over it. And
Right.
you're like, man, that roof is old. When I flip a house, I'm going to replace that. So Shay will go over. He's like, no, man, the roof's only like 3 or 4 years old. And so then he'll go out and it changes the way a house looks. 100%.
And that's the cool thing too. You know, we've had insurance adjusters reach out to us and stuff and say, hey, look, there's really nothing wrong with this roof. It's just dirty. You know, you guys come take a look at it and we can soft wash those things. But Window Gang's awesome, man. It's really great. And I talk about this a lot, but so we're a franchise. The franchise itself has been in Shreveport for 21 years now. And we have customers that have been with us for 21 years, you know, so there's a lot of value to that. You know, we have a great lifetime customer, and that's my goal. You know, I want to work for them and then their children. So, you know, we can kind of keep this thing going for sure. And Shreveport's great for that. I think that there's a lot of opportunity here if you treat your customers well. They're going to use you, you know, and I enjoy it a lot.
How often y'all clean your windows at Ivy's?
Well, we don't have a lot of windows, just to be clear.
Okay.
We've got a front door set up.
So you just have your person at your register.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not doing much.
Break the windows out and go for it. But I tell you what, I may call you on that soft wash because we got a building that needs, we got a front of a building that needs a little touching up. So we're doing business here on the pod right now.
That's the worst. That's the worst though, is that, people think, well, if I have a pressure washing machine, then, I can take care of that. And it's like, I've had a contractor one time get up on a roof with a pressure washing machine, and the deal almost fell through because there were granules, like lost granules everywhere.
It's always job security for us. We'll have ladies call and they're like, hey, I went out and cleaned half of my driveway in 2 days with the pressure washer that my husband bought that he said he was going to use to do it. And I'm like, nah, get us out there. We'll come take care of it. So it's a great business. So I enjoy it a lot. Owners of Window Gang are fantastic people. They own Jimmy John, Shreveport, Bossier, and they literally just kind of like laid the red carpet out, so it was cool. There's an absentee owner in place, and it's been
bring him on.
Been great.
Bring him on.
Oh yeah.
So the Window Gang owner. Now what is your role at Window Gang?
So director of operations. Okay. I manage the business from the ground up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
So any input, anything that anytime I need Pat, I call Pat. Pat's always available, and he's great. So a little harder to get him during football season sometimes, but I don't blame him.
So I'm curious with Window Gang because again, it's a business that obviously there's lots of them out there, and I haven't really thought a lot about it, but I'm wondering, is there a big capital need up front to fire up one of these things? Like,
I don't know so much about nowadays. And I guess to answer your question, 22 years ago, not a huge capital, deal at all. And they do a lot of the training, again, with it being a franchise, you get a lot of the support and things that come from that. They've recently actually sold to a parent company called Premium Service Brands, and it's been cool. They've helped out a ton. But yeah, in most of those business models, you don't need a ton of capital. You just got to be one of those guys that are ready to get out there and go after it. So
cost of goods is low.
That's right.
You're paying for labor.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Wow. So that's a great.
And I know one of the things we talked about, and and I own companies that are service heavy and. Just finding good people.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's tough.
And then keeping them happy. And then keeping them away from competitors. Right.
That's also
And so
tough.
How do you go about that?
I've been really, really, really fortunate here. Honestly, I haven't had a lot of turnover, but I've got a little bit of a different mindset. And a lot of that comes from me being within the business, like Leighton was saying a minute ago. But I love to get out there and work with them. I will go just as hard as they will, and I really just love on these guys, and I know them, so it's a little easier because we're pretty small. We run 2 crews, sometimes 3 crews. So, there's not a lot of personnel there, but we're turning over a lot of work every single day. So if you show them that, hey, look, I am no better than you. We're just doing this thing together. We get out here, everybody's got mouths to feed, so there's that common goal, and you just go at it.
Yeah. So how many projects per week was Window Gang taking on?
Oh, goodness gracious. Too many sometimes. Again, I'm a yes man. So we pack that schedule in for sure. This week, we've got a lot of commercial stuff going on right now, and we work for some really big commercial players in Shreveport, Bossier as well. But so we own a territory in South Louisiana that covers basically Baton Rouge to New Orleans. So we bounce back and forth. We just got done with a good sized job actually on campus there for LSU. And then got right back into our residential commercial mix here in Shreveport too. So yeah, we're busy, man, and we're blessed. It's a great way to be for sure.
If all you were doing in a day with your 2 crews was just residential, how many houses could you knock out?
Typically 7 or 8. Yeah, I mean, and that varies. It just kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're just there window cleaning, but we package a lot of that stuff together too. While we're on site, we're going to clean your windows, but I absolutely want to clean your gutters. We want to wash your driveway and make sure your patios and everything are good to go too. So, it just kind of depends on the workload there for each house. But yeah, I mean, on average, we're for sure doing five residentials a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it is great.
So I have these birds that have taken a liking to my house.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that build the mud nests.
I got a few of those.
Yes, barn swallows maybe. And I didn't realize if you don't tear them down after they leave, they just come back. And so by the time we realized they were back, there were already eggs. And then, for me, it wouldn't bother me to just go knock them down, but my kids love animals and I don't want them going to school and saying dad killed the bird eggs.
Naturally, they're going to like his place because he's a big real estate guy. So
so it has been, dude, it's almost like a scene from Alfred Hitchcock, the birds, like in the morning and evening. It's like they are all over. I bet my neighbors are like, what are they doing? They have witchcraft going on over there because there are just thousands of these birds flying around. But, when we go out of town, we have a guy that house sits, and I'm always like, hey, man, I'll pay you a little extra to go ahead and just, power wash and clean up around the pool and all that. I mean, within 10 hours, the bird craps back. Like, it's not even a point of doing it.
Right. Yeah. You got to get rid of them things, man.
Another thing, too, is we're building our house. You don't think through the logistics. You think of the plans. You're like, oh, wow, this foyer is going to be amazing. 20-foot ceilings or whatever they are. And then it's like, wow, how do you reach those windows up there? You don't think about it. Hey,
that's good. That's job security for me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, that'll look great. I'm like, oh yeah, the big chandelier looked great on there, and then you're in there a year, you're like, well, bulbs are going out. How do I change these bulbs?
Right. And listen behind the subtext of what he's saying right now, that this guy is such a baller that he's got light bulbs that you have to have a crane to change out.
These are good first world problems.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
That's good. I'm just saying. You think about it if you're building a house.
I guess you don't think about it.
No, you don't.
How are you going to change that bulb up there?
How are you going to change it?
You call Window Gang. That's it.
Yes. Like we have this massive.
You guys will do that?
No, we'll do anything, man. Yeah.
In the back, we have this wasp nest that's been forming for months and months. I mean, the thing has to be like 8 inches wide at this point. But it's like really in an area you can't really get to. I can't get to without killing myself, right?
This is a Window Gang infomercial.
Yes, I need Window Gang to come to my house.
30-minute infomercial.
We're on the way. It sounds like I need to put housekeeping or something in there too, since you've got a guy that's doing it.
Well, next time you...
How about cooking? How about meals?
Yeah,
what are we? Look, can we get some meals in here?
If it pays.
That's right. Look, how awesome would that be if you were like, hey, I'm going to come home and I've got... we got this beautiful meal set up.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the chef, but nobody can afford the chef.
Right.
I tried out.
I mean, is your wife always cooking? Is she just always making
we have a
stuff
good little rhythm where, especially when school's going on. So we don't eat. Sorry, we sit down a couple nights a week and eat as a family, but we don't eat at that time. It's like at 5:30, right? Okay. So they're eating and we're just conversating. But then by the time we want to eat, they're hungry again. So we have to put them to bed so they don't eat our dinner, right? Like they get the mac and cheese. They're not getting the ribeye,
right? Okay.
So we got to, so while Laurie is getting the two youngest in bed, I'm cooking most cases.
Oh, so
she might have done some prep, but so I'm mostly getting it ready.
She's probably working the veggies and
she'll pre-cut the sweet potatoes, if you will. Yeah, she'll have it ready, and then so then I'll go and do the cooking. So that's our rhythm.
Okay.
So because if not, they will like stand over us while we eat and ask for stuff off our plate. And I'm like, dude, you've already eaten.
I'm a big eater at night, so I'd fit right in as one of your kids. If you want to adopt me and put me in there.
There you go.
Yeah. So Nico, man, I'm hearing a lot of work, a lot of hours. Is there anything else that you're involved in that's beyond the rentals and the Window Gang? Is there anything else that do you have enough time for anything else?
Well, he said Mardi Gras. Y'all are big in Mardi Gras.
Right. So I just finished a full year of royalty with the Krewe of Centaur, and it was great. I was the Duke of Fun, and my wife, she was the Duchess of Fun. And,
Duke of Fun.
Yeah.
See, that'd be my role in there.
Title. It was fun, man. Yeah, it's
dude. That would be a good to have one of the big Mardi Gras people that know all about it. Come on and talk about it. Do a special Mardi Gras.
Plug you in with that.
Yeah,
too.
There you go. There you go.
It's cool, man. We enjoyed it.
Let's add this. Let him just be our book. He can just book guests for us.
Look, say less. I'll take that on.
You sit over here. You can be our producer.
Another
there we go.
Role.
Yeah, I'll be your Jamie. How about that? Like,
there you go.
I got you.
It sounds like you have free time. So
yeah, tons of that. Yeah. No, to answer your question, my biggest job and my best job, man, is being a dad. Sure. Yeah, so I've got an 11-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son, and they're awesome. In fact, this is my moment to plug Kennedy. She was like, "Daddy, you better tell them my name." And I was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that." But she's great. excuse me, she just started 7th grade. She's super, super involved. She's doing dance. She loves volleyball, does her thing. And then my son is awesome. He's total sweetheart. Nick's he's special needs. So our household schedule tends to be all over the place. We're on his schedule a lot of the times, so, but it's fun, man. It's taught me more about life than any of my business endeavors, anything else. It's really cool. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so sorry, we kind of skipped over the Krewe of Centaur. What is that?
So Krewe of Centaurs, it's a local Mardi Gras crew, and it's great, man. We do a lot for the city of Shreveport, and it's been a really cool thing. I came in 2020, so it was a non-riding year, obviously with it being COVID. So we started to kind of sit back and learn, the processes and stuff there. And it's really awesome. They treat everything as business, and it's super family friendly. So it was, very inviting to my wife and I. Quickly coming into the Krewe of Centaur, I was appointed as a float lieutenant, which was really, really cool. It gives you an opportunity to take on a Mardi Gras float, and we build these suckers from the ground up. Every single bit of what you see on parade day is, done with our time. And that's a cool thing. So long story short, like I said, we just did this royalty year. Ton of fun, but exhausting. I mean, you're trying to keep up with people that are, 60, 70, some of them are 80 years old. Dude, these people roll. So it was fun, but I'm excited to be able to.
Is there a way? I don't want to put in the work and go to all the parties. Is there a way I can just show up the day of the roll and be on the float?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Nah, funny enough, to answer the question,
I'll be the assistant to the Duchess of Fun.
There you go. Yeah, they might need that this year. So, but yeah, to answer your question, we have several people there's people that come from all over the country. We have a rider had a rider on our float that would fly here from somewhere up north. I can't even remember where she was from, but so to answer your question, not everybody is super involved with it, but will pay their dues, get their throw package and come on parade day and tough whatever weather conditions we get.
That's what I want to do.
It's a lot of fun.
I would want to look at the weather first too.
That's one of those things, man. Yeah,
you never know.
We've rode in all of it,
and I've attended it. It does tend to rain a lot around.
Yeah, February's it's a tricky,
rains and cold, but some days are beautiful.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Poor Jim and I think Krewe of Centaur, we've gotten more fair weather. Jim and I, it always seems like they're just
So back in the day, I remember when it started in Bossier.
That's right.
And we would be on the Bossier side, and then they would actually go over the bridge into Shreve City.
They tried to do that again. They wanted to adopt and kind of changing the route up a little bit, but Bossier, Bossier's like, we don't really want to do that. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
How?
One of the things, Nico, that we've talked about just personal growth a lot when we've met. And I know recently the reason I actually thought about having you on is you created a Facebook group, a closed Facebook group. And it was called, what's it called?
It's a men's group, but I called it Dad Business. This is Dad's business.
I like
That's
it.
what we're doing.
You have dad jokes.
Right.
You have dad bods. Now you have dad business.
That's
there we
right.
go.
So that's
Dad's or just dad?
It's actually just I might need to look at that.
I think it's dad business. Yeah. Dad's business. Dad business.
Dad business.
Either or, but that's a quick edit on Facebook if I need to.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
So what's your motive behind that?
Man, so kind of a million different things, I've been in a kind of a different headspace lately, and I was like, you know what? There's not a lot of opportunity for men to like really be able to get out there and talk freely and feel good about, being vulnerable, basically. And as a dad and with business and things like that, we don't have a lot of time, either. So it's really, really easy to reach out to a guy and say, hey man, you want to go have a beer? And they're open to it. But it's not so easy to reach out to a guy and say, hey man, you want to go work out or run a 5K or do something like that. So what I'm trying to do is just find like-minded people that want to talk and just need a good friend. Man, there's a lot of good guys in Shreveport and Bossier, but I'll tell you this. I was getting my hair cut the other day, which is kind of a new thing for me. I've had long hair forever, so I just started cutting all this stuff off. Man, I miss talking to a barber. That was cool.
Yeah,
but
you should go to mine.
Look,
listen.
I did listen. I did, dude. I might. Like, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I just need some of that conversation. That was hilarious. They were a trip.
Oh yeah.
So I had an awesome conversation with a barber the other day. And he was telling me he had kind of been going through some similar stuff and just doing a lot of self-reflecting, right? And he was like, but man, he was like, you know what the best part of all of this has been? I was like, what's that? He was like, man, I looked in the mirror the other day and I was like, oh, hi, you. And that, like, when he said that, I just had this epiphany. I was like, oh, I've so been there, man. And it's been so long since I felt like I've really dialed it in and like saw myself, you know. It's tough. We wear so many hats on a daily basis. So to be able to get to like the core of who we are is really important. So I want to find some good guys that are wanting to do just that. And
well, there's always going to be in business ownership or management or whatever it is. I mean, there's always this friction or this rub with, you know, I hear it from my real estate agents all the time. They're like, I'm busy, but I feel guilty.
Oh,
right. Because summer's busy and I'm closing, I'm making a lot of money selling houses. Yeah. But like, I wasn't there at all for my kids' summer. Right. And I know we've talked about that a lot. And a lot of the younger guys that now I'm in my mid 40s, I can say, hey man, you got to make a decision because I was in your shoes 10 years ago. I hit a wall and it was like, either I'm going to double down in business or I'm going to have to put up boundaries. And there's nobody telling you to do it, right? In fact, if you're working with a business partner or you have an owner, they don't want you scaling back on the business, right? They want you to keep going and putting in overtime. But, you know, what's the point? You know, and even now I'm like, sure, I could go and make, you know, an extra 20% of income by doubling down and working an extra 20 hours a week. But man, well, you know, it's just that rub is like, I don't want to get to where my kids are going off to college and I'm regretting that I worked so hard.
Yeah. And I'm absolutely feeling that for sure right now. In fact, I will not tell my daughter this, but I was really excited when she was going back to school. Her day was more structured. You know what I mean? And Kennedy will call me 300 times a day at home. And she's like, Daddy, I'm bored or wherever she is. And I'm like, baby, I'm at work. I promise you. Here in 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, you're not going to be calling me, telling me you're bored anymore. You want to be bored. I would love to be bored right now. But so it's definitely one of those things. It's trade-offs, man. That's what it's all about.
My buddy Ross, he says there's a reason why women created coffee shops and men created football stadiums.
Oh yeah.
He's like, because men want to sit side by side. They don't want to sit across from another man, right? Yeah. But, you know, and then give a shout out to Jason, one of our repeat guests on the show. If you want to go to the Covenant Church and listen to his sermon from this past Sunday, it was all about just having Christian friendships, right? And so it's a big, it's definitely lacking, right? Yeah. And we don't want to do that. Right. We don't want to be vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah. We don't want to show any kind of weakness or admit mistakes.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
We want to be Trump, you know. Yeah. And act like we have it all together.
Yeah, and, I don't know how that goes. And then, but you're right. You're totally right. Yeah. And there's, you know, there's an array of there's so many outlets. There's so many ways. What am I trying to say here? I've been through a lot in my life, and I've realized if it wasn't for the work that I put in as a man and, like, you know, just kind of shutting off the outside world, but doing some things for myself, that, like, we have to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, for a million different reasons. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool, man. I'm really excited to see where this little group goes. I need to get in there and get active.
I like it. Well, if anybody wants to join it, Dad Business.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, you know, for me, I had a business coach. At the time, I've had several business coaches, but at the time I had this business coach and I was kind of working through some of this frustration. And I made a decision at the time. I was really heavily in real estate sales. And so I made a decision to not work past 5 o'clock and to not work on weekends, which is difficult in real estate, right? Because you have people that are, and so we had to set up these boundaries. And I remember probably within the first month, we had decided as a family to go to breakfast the next morning, the Saturday morning, go as a family. Sure enough, I get a call 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Hey, a doctor friend of mine wants to see this house that just hit the market. They leave on vacation at noon tomorrow. They have to go in the morning. And I said, hey man, I've kind of set up these boundaries, so I'm not going to do it. And then, of course, I probably shouldn't have followed up, but I followed up like a week later, said, hey, did they ever get to see that house? He's like, oh yeah, they put an offer on it. They're buying it. Like I'm doing the 3%, I'm not great at math, but I can multiply by 3%. 3%. I'm like, but it was a win for me. Right. And I feel like, we have to, there has to be rest. And for me, it has to be in my schedule, right? Or planned. Because if not, I'm just going to keep working.
Yeah, likewise.
And even what's today? Thursday, Tuesday night. I had some conversations on the way home from some business stuff. And I was like, I'll get that tomorrow. Well, I sit down in my chair. I really didn't. The kids were kind of doing their own thing. So I was like, well, I can work for 30 minutes. And I pulled up my phone and I jotted some stuff down, and I'm like, well, it really could have waited to the next day, right?
Yeah.
But
this is where I'm like running my Siri into overtime. I'm like, hey Siri, remind me.
Yeah.
In fact, my phone's probably going off right now.
Yeah.
Doing that,
well, one of the boundaries I had to set up is I had to tell my team. I said, hey, don't call me after 3:00 unless it's a problem I can solve right away. Because I don't need you putting something on me that I have to sit through an evening wondering and thinking about, right? Save it. Or don't drop a bomb on me on Friday afternoon when it's about to be the weekend, right? So but even Monday then, morning. So right now, I'm even one of my managers, I'm like, hey dude, our Tuesday agenda, half of this stuff don't put it on the agenda. You solve it, you take care of it. Only give me what I need to know. Right. And even going through working with Clint in therapy, I'm like, I said that, I would say, man, this, somebody said this about me and it really bothered me. And he's like, well, let's talk about this. How did that news get to you? I was like, well, this person. They said, well, why did they have permission to tell you that? Right. And so I've had to even do that. Is say, hey, don't tell me what people are saying about me unless it's relevant to to things. And so anyways, I just think those are all boundaries you just kind of have to put up in business and being a guy, and especially the way I'm wired, where I don't want anybody to be upset with me, and I don't, and I want to fix everything. And so I know Josh does. You kind of you do a lot of music stuff. That's kind of your rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
That's awesome.
Every weekend I'm up at the crack of dawn, and I go up to my studio and I get on my piano and bang out, write songs and get on guitar and turn it up as loud as I can. And by about 9:00, I'm like, okay, I don't care if I wake Piper up now. It's I'm just going to go turn it up a little bit more. Yeah. I try to let her sleep in a little bit, but at some point you're just like, you know what? It's time to get up, and I'm going to 11.
I love music, man. That's a great outlet for me, for sure. I work out a ton, that's I love to run. I'm super, super passionate about fitness, but if music didn't exist, there's no way I would be a fit person at all. No way.
That's what keeps you going. Keep cranking something.
Man.
What's your favorite track? Or what is your genre?
Oh God, I'm so all over the place. I mean, seriously, yesterday I was sitting in my office listening to just a little bit of honestly, classical, dark classical music, background music all week. I can just sit there and it puts me in a really good headspace. I love it. But I'm all over the place genre wise. It just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. But
I like it.
Because they even have the stuff now where if you're running, it'll pick songs that sync to your running.
Yeah. And Spotify can make weightlifting mixes and stuff like that. I'm sure you're in the gym and you're just cranking it.
If I did that, it would all be real slow tune. It'd be 56 tempo.
Look, I want to ask you a question because you said something that really made me, that piqued my interest. So I can tell that you are just an extremely motivated individual.
Yes, sir.
And I think that some people just have that high motor. They just have a high motor. They got a lot of energy. They like to see the world as a place where they can be active in it and influence what happens in the world. They have a lot of agency is what I would say. And I can obviously see that you're one of those people. And it's special to be around people like that because, again, sometimes it's contagious and you're just like, well, dang, man, this guy's got juice. He's going for it.
Yes, sir.
But one question I have for you is that the thing you connected with your barber when he said, hi, you, why did that hit you so hard?
Oh, man, that's a great question. And I realized a few years ago I wasn't laughing as much. I wasn't smiling. I just wasn't. I've always been the guy that everybody was laughing at all the time. I didn't take a whole lot serious. I took the right stuff serious, but I love to laugh, but I miss that a lot. I've done so much and I've gotten so busy, and I've allowed a lot of the stresses of business and things like that to really affect like my overall mood always. And that drives me crazy, so taking a step back and realizing like, man, like, not only is your hair getting pretty gray really fast right now and your beard, but
you still got a lot of it though. So it's looking good.
That's right. Thank you for that too. Yeah. I do love my hair. So thank you. But man, I miss laughing, and I miss being able to find like the funny and in those moments and things like that. I really miss that. So I'm really eager to get back to that. And that was 100% like that conversation. I'd really thrown the idea around of a men's group or something like that. I was like, I don't know what I want to do with this. But when I had that conversation, he said that was like that aha moment for me. I was like, that's exactly how I feel like lately. Yeah.
And this is such a great rabbit hole. So if we can jump down it real quick, Leighton, if you don't mind, we're just going to jump down this hole.
Let's go.
Man, what you said just hit me so hard because I connect deeply to that. I go on this river trip every year with my friends, and I laugh more in that trip than I do probably all year, to be honest, in like 2 days. And so I think that, when you heap all of this responsibility on your shoulders, be it as a father, as a husband, as a business leader,
yes, sir.
When you heap all this on your shoulders, it's so easy to lose some of those pieces of yourself in that. And I connect deeply with what you're saying because I don't know how you really, really perfectly toggle this idea of, your mission versus, some of those parts of yourself. I think it's really, really hard.
Oh, I do too. I totally agree. We get caught up in the day to day and, what we're doing. And I think that we just become okay with being so stressed because it's our responsibility as men, but that's not the case, and it shouldn't be that way. I've learned to sit back a little bit and enjoy these little moments and stuff. These kids grow fast, man. I mean, it's so fast. And just to be able to really just encompass every single bit of that. But it's super important to recognize it too, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, man, I'm 35. I'm about to be 36 years old. Like, I don't want to be a grumpy 40-year-old man. I want to be really, really happy and know that like, you're working as hard as you can possibly work and you're flourishing. Like everything's fine, and I have to remind myself of that a lot. Everything's just fine. It's okay. It's all going to be okay. So I got happy kids.
I think that's the one of the transitions for me. Cause I think about like for me 10 years ago, every problem was going to burn the company down. Right.
Yep.
And I had to be a part of every conversation and every solution. I had to give my input, and and through the work, it's just like, man, that I just don't have. My team is going to do that better than I am. Y'all just go solve it don't even worry with me with it, because it would consume every part of me. So I think that is a growth area. Especially if you want to grow in your business, or if you want to make time for your family, and if you just want to be healthy mentally, is just get to this place where it's like, hey man, it's just like, it's crazy because like the stuff that happens now, somebody will call me and be like, hey, this employee's pregnant, or this employee's wanting a raise, or this person just put in their 2 weeks. And before I would just be like break out in hives, like stressing over it. And now I'm like, okay, well, let's solve it. And so it's just kind of a different approach. And I think that part of that just comes through experience, right? I mean, I remember having to fire my first person. Like I didn't sleep for 2 days, right? Do you remember do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, and now it's like, I mean, I'm not like just cold hearted and just like going like busting people over their heads, but it's just it's just something I've been through a lot. And so I just know, that I can control some conversations, and I can't control how they react, and I'm okay with that. And it's just what it is,
Yeah, it is what it is.
So that some of that is just going through it. And so I see young entrepreneurs or young business people in business, and they just get so consumed, and I did it too. And so I'm just like, hey, like, it's just not that big of a deal.
Right.
And hey, this this means a lot to you right now and you're stressing a lot about it, but next time it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. Fortunately for me, the first couple guys that I had to fire, they made it really easy.
Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah. So the hardest firing is when it's not like something obvious. I'm like, dude, I wish you would have just stolen money and so I could fire you. Right. Or I wish you would have like, just like, you know, wrecked a vehicle, but like I'm having to let you go because, you know, you're just not good at what you're doing. Right. And so that's always difficult.
Yeah, it is. So, it is. I really appreciate you bringing that up. And yeah, those are important points for sure. So.
Well, and to the idea of the dad business group, I think you're trying to create a space for that. And I think that's part of it too. Through Leighton, you know, Leighton is a world traveler. He takes, I don't know, like 15 vacations a year somehow. I don't know. Your PTO time just blows me away. But I think that, you know, he's onto something with that. You're onto something with that. And that idea of I need to create something to give me a piece of this, a piece of myself back, or to honor it in some way so that I don't get totally lost in the responsibility, which can be, I mean, just by its nature, people depend on you, right? People depend on you to show up, to do a good job, to make good decisions, to be the best that you can be. Right. You know, they kind of not put you on a pedestal, but you are needed to be the best you can be.
Always.
And that's not just an internal motivation. That's now an external motivation with all these other people looking at you that depend on you. Yeah. And so, you know, Leighton, I don't know, maybe make it 14 vacations.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'll throw a pity party every once in a while and just be like, you know, if something's not going right at the house, or, you know, they're demanding more. I'm just like, they just don't even understand. They don't even understand. You know, if I wasn't doing all this, they wouldn't have this house. They wouldn't have this, you know, or they don't even know, you know, and I had to kind of, I had to talk myself out of it. You know, it's like, okay, calm down.
Right.
You know, but yeah. And I think another thing that's fighting against this, for men to be vulnerable and open up is, we kind of have this competitive edge, and we feel like, well, I can't show weakness because, you know, I'm having to outdo my peers. Right. And, you know, there was always this big thing where in the past I would get kind of, my guard would come up when it was anybody that was in the same kind of industry that I'm in. Right. And I'm like, well, look, who can empathize with me more than the person doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And we find that a lot in real estate, is like, we want to, like, real estate agents want to be like, they're against each other. I'm like, nobody else understands what you're going through other than them. And like, you need to go and rub shoulders with them, because they actually can think like you're thinking. Right.
Yeah, I agree. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. The vulnerability piece for me is not, I don't think that's the issue. And I don't approach the world like I'm trying to like put my foot on everybody's throat. I'm just internally motivated. I want to be, you know, good at what I'm doing. So I don't have a problem with the vulnerability. I think I just have a problem with the bandwidth to be in that moment.
Yeah.
You know,
to shut off.
Well, yeah. Just to kind of like what he's doing is like, you know, just to have the bandwidth to say, okay, yeah, I can take the time to do this, or to be with these people, go play golf or something. Right. Just, I mean, I should just play golf. Why don't I do that?
Yeah.
Do you feel, and that was part of me, you know, working with Aaron and putting blocks in my weekly schedule to not have any responsibility, so I can just think of what's next and to kind of dream and what the vision is. But it was hard for me to do that because I felt guilty.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I'm like, these guys are working. Right. Especially somebody like you that wants to be in the trenches working with them. Yeah. But to say, you know, hey, this is the best use for me is to get away for 3 hours this afternoon to just think of what's going on, because most people be like, oh, well, he's just being lazy. And I would think that too, but that's the only way to be a visionary or to think of what's next.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of beauty in that. And fortunately for me, I haven't had to be real creative. You know, as you know, service businessman, like get out there and get after it. And I love that. I really do. I love that. I am a creative thinker, but I don't have to be one, you know. So, but yeah, it gives you that opportunity to have some of that. I mean, if anything else, it's going to force some really good productivity. Yeah. And a lot of us are looking for that. So
you want to play golf?
I
love playing golf.
I need to. I don't even have gloves. I have to borrow them.
So you don't have to. We can just show up at Chase and Aces and use theirs now. You know,
That is fun. That is fun.
That's right. See, I haven't even done that.
Oh, you gotta do that.
That'd be a great way to go.
Bert, we're doing our for our real estate agents. We do a back to school fun day, and we're doing it tomorrow at Chase and Aces. If you'd like to come,
Okay, look at that.
you're a guest of honor.
Look at that.
That's
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
So,
I got this figured out. This has been a good
hot.
talk for me, man.
Great. Yeah, I've enjoyed this.
Chase and
quite a
Aces
bit,
is
too.
cool. We need to have them on here.
We should.
But dude, hey, seriously, let's play golf when the weather's a little better.
Okay. Yeah.
You can use my gloves. They're long.
I'll be choked up on those bad boys. Like I'm in an 0-2 count with these things.
Right.
Well, the problem is whenever I don't know why this image sticks in my head, but I remember when they would have the celebrity golf matches back in like the 80s and 90s. And I just remember Bill Lambier like holding a pitching wedge. It looked like a toothpick. And that's what I feel like when I have normal
guy.
gloves.
Yeah.
So let's got to get the,
Nico, what about you for fun? What do you like to do?
Again, workout, run, man. That's it. Yeah. Any free time I have, I'm generally in a YMCA or an Anytime Fitness, or I've been in some CrossFit gyms too. So yeah, I enjoy that a lot. My wife's a big runner, so we're a super competitive household. So
How many miles are you running per week?
Per week. Well, not so much right now. I'm trying to put some size on. Actually, I managed to run everything off always, but in a normal setting, I'd probably run 10 or 12 miles a week for sure. And then, coming into this season that we're about to enter, it's 5K time. So we sign up and do a lot of 5K stuff like that. Yeah, there's some cool ones coming too. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So you're lifting during the week?
Sir. Yeah.
And so how do you break that down?
It depends. Schedule wise is tough. Sometimes it's super early in the morning. I love to get to the gym at like 5:30. That's really the best time to do it. Now I'm always so motivated to hop up and do that. Not a chance.
Right.
So, if it's in the afternoons, like 4:30, 5 o'clock, so that's the hardest part. We really, if we had the garage space right now, I would be full-fledged home gym, but we're out of room. We're totally out of room. So.
Yeah. I know you'll get there.
Oh, for sure. We've had it before, and we sold it because we needed the room in there. And so anyway, we need to bring that back pretty bad.
Yeah.
What we like to talk about food.
Oh,
on
yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
What's the best? What's your recently the best meal you've had?
Oh, you're gonna hate this.
Okay.
You're gonna hate it, dude. I eat eggs so much.
Okay.
Like I'm so easy, but I eat really, really clean, really lean. Now that being said, I love a good steak. But man, I'm super easy. Like I don't love to eat out. My wife loves Mexican food naturally. Look around this place, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're superior people, man. We're in there way too much.
Okay.
Yeah. They got a good Mitsu bowl. It's pretty clean. You can eat that and still work out and feel fine.
You just have to avoid the chips the whole time.
And
that's the problem.
And the
margaritas. That's the problem.
Margaritas, yeah. That's a real problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
So Shreveport Bossier, you've been here. How long have you lived here? Your whole life?
Forever. Yeah.
Your whole life.
Yeah.
If you could change one thing about this place, what would it be?
Nothing. This is the best place. Shreveport's awesome, man. Shreveport Bossier's great. Every city has its issues, but fortunately for all of us, Shreveport Bossier's kind of behind the times in terms of like business and things to do. So I like to go and look around and see what's going on in Dallas or Houston or Austin or wherever it is and see what we could bring here. But man, I think that there's good people in the right places. Probably a good time. And I know Bob. Have y'all had Bob on? Bob Thames?
No, I actually just reached out to him.
Oh yeah. Bob's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Holler at Bob. Get him in here.
Yeah.
Bob's good. He's doing a lot of things for the city. He knows the right people to put in the right places. So yeah, I probably wouldn't be your production guy, but Bob could be for sure. So yeah, Bob's good.
What are you excited about in your businesses or anything going forward in the next couple of months?
So, Leighton and I have talked about this a lot over the years. I got to get risky. Everything I've done, I've just been like really, really comfortable, basically. Geaux Southern Rentals was built slowly over time, but I've never owed a penny. Nothing's ever been on credit or anything like that. All cash purchases. So it's to a point now where I can actually scale and maybe be able to step out of the business a little bit and do some different stuff. Window Gang I'm hoping to acquire Window Gang sooner than later. So that would be a lot of risk on my part. And obviously that's going to take some capital to do.
The
but
franchise that you're in now,
Right.
not like a neighboring territory.
No. Yeah, I would want to buy the locations that we have now, which, that'd be great. So again, I think I'm definitely at a point in my career where it's time to take some risk. Like I said, I've got some capital and I'm ready to do something for sure. So, but my mind's always ticking. It's one of those things. There's so many things that I want to do. So many. I know what I'm really good at, and that's what I always stick to. And man, I can roll an inflatable, and that's all I'm ever thinking about. I'm like, we could do this and this and this, but I keep it fairly simple on that side. But I'm ready to take some risk. If somebody's got a great idea, like, let's get to it.
Let's hit Nico up with some ideas.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Me and Leighton been talking about this for a long time.
We always talk about this. Yeah. And look, I'm an idea guy too, so I have to have people around me that tell me no a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
If not, I would do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
But I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot from you. Leighton's, he's hollered at me many times just on different things. And it's always, it's a good feeling, when this guy, and I plug you all the time, man. I'm talking about you all the time. I had a B&I meeting yesterday, actually, 1-to-1. Mm-hmm. And somewhere in that conversation with him, I was like, y'all know Leighton? I was like, y'all need to know Leighton. So they're going to be reaching out to you.
Yeah. You're in the B&I group. Yeah. It's a girls group.
Yeah. It's a great group, man.
He's been kicked out of every B&I group in town.
Yeah. That's what happens when you start them. Like, this guy, we don't need this guy.
That's right. Okay, man.
Cool.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
We need to plug our
you,
businesses.
We do. We need to do some sponsor talk.
Yeah, here, let me talk about mine. Priority Roofing, locally owned family and business specializing in residential commercial roofing. The Bailiffs.
Oh, yeah, very well.
Oh, yeah. You're Stonewall, right? You're in Stonewall.
Yes, sir. Yeah, right outside of it. But And, they're, are they pregnant right now?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
I
fun
was
stuff.
trying to tell Shay, I was a surprise baby, and I was like, you'll be the same distance as my youngest one, and I am. So, it's not too bad. No. You show up to kindergarten, like, they're like, oh, is your grandkid in here? Like, no.
That's great.
So anyways, all right. So yeah, Priority Roofing, they've helped thousands of homeowners the past 5 years, and just a great company. 318-202-2123. Plumber for Hire, who's ran by Alex, our friend Alex. Alex is a good dude.
He crushes it.
Yep. Locally owned plumbing company, specializes in residential and commercial plumbing. Man, they do small jobs, big jobs. They'll travel, up to an hour out of town to take care of somebody who can't find a plumber, and they just do a good job. So 318-709-9090. And then Clint Davis Counseling here, they let us use their studio, and Clint's just a great guy, has a great organization. They have 3 offices, the Shreveport Bossier, helping people make lasting internal change for external growth and success. Give them a call, 318-562-6903.
Ivy's Building Materials, 3 locations, Mansfield, Houghton, and Blanchard. Family owned since 1969. We are a home center format, full hardware store, full pro lumber yard. So we can do everything for help you fix a toilet, paint your wall, or build a house. We're installing doors and windows as well as flooring. So look us up, ivylumber.com. We're in some great communities. And we want to be a cornerstone of the community, a place that people love to come into and get taken care of the right way, and give back. That's part of what we do. Yeah. So Ivy's.
Hey, y'all built my house, right?
That's correct.
It's still standing.
It's still there.
Still there.
Right.
I don't know when
birds.
I don't know when this episode comes out, but we do need to plug your event coming up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we need to start plugging that
as well. So at the Blanchard location, we're going to have our first ever steak and wings cookout. And sign up. It's only $150. There's some great prizes, and compete. Get that grill out there and compete.
It's like it's literally 2 of my. That's literally 90% of what I eat is steak and wings.
I was going to say that's right.
At dinner,
and we plan on having Leighton as a judge. But clean eating, right? Wings,
right?
Steak.
I can eat on that.
Yeah, a little bit of a little sauce might throw you, but it's going to be a fun time.
Okay, cool. What were the dates?
September 20th. September 20th.
Good time.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that'll be great.
And Window Gang.
Yeah, Window Gang. So
And then Geaux Southern Rentals.
Yeah,
and they're on Facebook and on social media, but on Google too. Geaux Southern Rentals. High ratings on there. I've noticed.
That, man. Yeah, GeauxSouthernRentals.com, WindowGang.com.
GEAUX.
That's right.
Geaux Southern Rentals.
Yeah. Nobody will make that mistake here. Everybody knows that.
Awesome. Well, Nico.
Thank you, Nico.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you guys.
Good combo.
Appreciate it, man. That was great.